Maybe you've heard the story, Santa Claus wears red because of Coca-Cola. Well, it's just not true. Santa Claus was inspired by other gift bringers to wear red, but also wears red for a scientific reason, and in this video, I'm going to explain the scientific reason as to why Santa Claus wears red. Hi there, I'm Dr. Barry Fitzgerald, the superhero scientist. On this channel, you'll find videos about the science of superheroes, Star Wars, Santa Claus, and lots more besides. Santa Claus's wearing of red was not inspired by Coca-Cola. The truth is that Santa Claus was inspired to wear red by other gift bringers. First to inspire Santa's choice of red was St. Nicholas, who gave gifts to the poor while wearing red robes when he worked as a bishop in the 4th century. And then there's Santa Claus, the Dutch gift bringer who delivers presents on December 5th each year. And guess what? Santa Claus wears red too. So the story that Coca-Cola is the reason that Santa Claus wears red is just that, a story. However, there is a scientific reason for Santa Claus's choice of the color red, and that is to make it difficult for you to see him when he is delivering presents on Christmas Eve. Hold on for a minute. But you're going to say to me right now that red is a very noticeable color. It's very obvious if someone is wearing red. And for example, I have a Santa hat here, and it's quite clear that this is in the image. It's very bright, it's very red. So what gives? But things become a little bit more difficult when it comes to seeing the color red when the lights go down and the bright lights vanish and you're in darkness. And the reason for this comes down to how your eye works. This is the human eye. When light enters the eye, it's focused by the cornea and lens onto the retina at the back of the eye. At the retina, the light interacts with photoreceptor cells. Photoreceptor cells, they just love to interact with light, and when they do so, they create chemical and electrical impulses. Now, I'm not going to get into all of the biological details about what's happening there, but at the end of those interactions between the light and the photoreceptor cells, signals are produced and sent through the optic nerve to the brain. In the visual cortex of the brain, these signals are interpreted to form an image of whatever you happen to be looking at. There are two types of photoreceptor cells in the eye that I really want to highlight, and that is rods and cones. Rods are the ones that are really good at helping you to see in dim conditions when the lights go out. Yes, you can see a little bit in the dark, and that's thanks to the rods. You'll find about 120 million rod photoreceptor cells in the eye, and they're located in the outer parts of the retina. And then there's the cones, and you'll find about 6 million cones in the eye, which is far lower than the number of rods you'll find in the eye. Now, the thing about the cones is that they're located in a specific region of the eye. It's called the macula, and in the center of the macula you'll find the fovea, and it's here that the cones are all packed in together. And there are 3 types of cones, each sensitive to a particular type of light, and those cones are sensitive to red, green, and blue light. Right now you might be thinking, what is the connection between your eye, rods and cones, and Santa Claus wearing a red suit? Well, here it is. In dark conditions, the cones just do not cut it. When the lights go out, the cones are not able to function as they would when it is much brighter. In fact, the rods are up to 1,000 times more sensitive to light than the cones, which means the rods are perfect if you want to see something in dim conditions, and you can forget about using the cones. But one other thing about the cones is that the cones that are sensitive to red light are the worst in dark conditions. In dim lighting conditions, red objects appear darker or even bluer than their actual true color. So if Santa Claus was wearing a blue suit and he was delivering presents on Christmas Eve, you might stand a better chance of being able to see the blue suit than the red suit. And you've experienced the failing of the red cones to see red light in dim conditions if you've been to the cinema in the past. In most cinemas, the seats are red, which means that when the lights go down, the seats become darker and less distracting to you as you watch the film. Thanks to this knowledge on how your eyes work, Santa was always going to pick red for his suit. It was the obvious choice. In fact, his whole suit should be red, as well as the sleigh. So forget the story connecting Coca-Cola and Santa Claus wearing red. The reason that Santa Claus wears red is all down to science and how your eyes see or do not see the color red very well when it is dark. Best of luck with the deliveries ahead, Santa Claus. I know you've got this, and don't forget to wear lots of red on Christmas Eve. I've been Dr. Barry Fitzgerald, the superhero scientist. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. Happy Christmas, and always think super.